Good afternoon and welcome back to Bald Brother Bets, everyone. We'll give you a quick recap of NFL Sunday yesterday and then lay out our plays for the two games on Monday Night Football tonight. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, notifications on. We'll never charge for these picks, even though we could, because we're hitting at a pretty high rate right now. But we would like to grow the channel. That's really the only thing that we ask. So way you can help us with that is make sure you're subscribed, notifications on, so you know when we post, and then like, share, comment on our videos. Help us get in that algorithm. And also the interaction with you guys is my favorite part. So let me know what your thoughts are on the picks, on the games, all that stuff. So NFL Sunday yesterday, 22-24. Started out 19-13 in the 1 p.m. window games. The Packers did us in on the afternoon games to go 3-8, and then we lost the Lions last night, which I told you guys we were going to lose that. That was a guaranteed loss. There's not really anything of note on the gambling side. There's some stuff of note that we'll touch on our Wednesday NFL Final Thoughts video, just from like an overall standpoint in the NFL. On the betting side, you had favorites win at a pretty high rate, first time this season. We need an absolute moment of silence for our hero. Ryan Callahan has been fired. It's very sad. He is one of the greatest heroes in the history of betting. He was 4-19 against the spread as the Titans head coach, which is the worst record in the history of the NFL for a coach who's coached a minimum of 5 games. That man was free money because of how shit he was. And we knew it was going to come to an end at some point. And it finally did. So we'll have a moment of silence for our hero, Ryan Callahan. And the moment is over. So we officially do not have just bet against the Titans every single week anymore as a free money play. We're probably going to be on the I don't know if we're going to be on the I don't want to go as far as say that. But we're reevaluating now. They're thrown back into the regular system model, all that stuff, because they have someone who shouldn't be working at a gas station probably now leading their team. Well, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. God, his press conferences were awesome, too. Hey, do you think you should change anything? He's like, not with what I'm doing. He's like, maybe the rest of this team should change, even though he's the head coach. It's pretty phenomenal. There's really, guys, we were 22-24. There's really nothing to note, though. Like I said, the favorites hit at a pretty high clip. Our big changer and all that stuff was the Packers, because we had 5 units on the Packers. We had 3 units at -14. We had 2 units at -13.5. If Flacco doesn't hit the 4th and 5 amazing catch Jamar Chase, then we go 2-0-3 in that game. Unfortunately, we went 0-5 in that, and that's the big difference maker, right? 22-24 would have been 24-19-3. Lions. We won't get into it, but injuries proved too much. We told you that one was going to lose. Hopefully, you guys faded it. Okay. For tonight, Bills Falcons. This is my favorite play of the week, NFL wise. I think. Yeah, this is my favorite play of the week, NFL-wise. Falcons +4 or 5 units. The Bills aren't good, so that's the first thing. B, they are very unhealthy. So they have Dalton Kincaid and Curtis Samuel are out. So you essentially have Josh Allen thrown to himself out there. We've been on this now. We got fooled a little bit. We were on this all last season, and we said the Bills weren't good. we got fooled a little bit to start this year because I thought they made some moves in the offseason where I was like, oh, they actually cleaned up a few that they didn't. So the Bills are still not a good team or an organization. They are Josh Allen. That is all they are. They are nothing else. They're a really bad run defense. The only reason this isn't 10, 15, or 20 units is Ed Oliver is supposedly supposed to go. However, they upgraded Jordan Phillips and Jordan Poyer from the practice squad for tonight. Ed Oliver's supposed to go, but upgrading Jordan Phillips from the practice squad makes me think that, like, okay, yeah, he's going, but he's not 100%. You can look at the splits for the Bills when Ed Oliver plays versus when he doesn't. When Oliver plays, they have a run defense, is what I would describe it as. I wouldn't say it's good, but it exists. When Ed Oliver does not play, they're Swiss cheese in defending the run. You guys saw that Chiefs team last night. Imagine what would happen right now if the Chiefs and the Bills played each other, especially with the Chiefs getting Rashee Rice back. The Chiefs would put it on that team, and they would enjoy doing it. It'd be comical. Imagine what the Lions would do to the Bills right now. With the Lions' run game. When the Ravens get healthy, imagine what they'll do. It's just, yeah, the Bills are not a good team. And then on top of that, like, they're super injured for tonight. But Ed Oliver, the Falcons are also ass. That's the other thing that we're missing here. The Falcons are going to run their entire offense through Bijan Robinson. And the Ed Oliver thing gives me slight pause that the Bills could win and cover, because if the game plan is too much up the middle, then he could shut that down. Also, Penix doesn't win games when the other team scores since being in the NFL. Will the Bills score tonight is a big, in theory, the Bills could run Josh Allen because he's amazing and he's Superman. Are you going to run Josh Allen a ton to win a week 6 game? I mean, I know what I would do. And I don't think McDermott is a moron when it comes to in-game decision or game plan and stuff. I just don't think you risk Josh Allen for a week 6 game. If it's the playoffs, it's completely different. So they're going to rely a lot on James Cook, and they're going to rely a lot on the backup pass catchers. So at Atlanta, I don't love it for the Bills. Mooney is out for the Falcons. That is also something that gives me pause, because as much as we love Drake London and Bijan, and Kyle Pitts has actually been decent this year, Mooney is one of the main key things that makes that offense go. If you kind of watch the way they run Zach Robinson's system. Zach Robinson's a Nick Shanahan disciple, and you need a pretty sure-handed, I call mid-threat in that system, and that is Mooney. So without him there, puts a lot more pressure on Kyle Pitts to kind of take over that role. But getting the +4 on a primetime game Monday night against a very depleted Bills team who's extremely overvalued and to start anyway is too much to pass up. So Falcons +4 for 5 units. If Ed Oliver is officially ruled out, be on the lookout, community post, for us to up that. My guess is if he's officially ruled out, we won't be able to up unless we're so on top of it and we get it at the number. We'll probably only get it at 3.5, but I would take it at 3.5 for more units, even if he's out. I mean, if he's ruled out, they're going to lose. We don't bet money lines, but the Falcons are going to win straight up. Okay. The next game is a lot more difficult. There is something really weird going on with this line. Really, really weird. Like, we've gone from 3.5 to 4 to 4.5 to 5 to 5.5, and now some places are starting to come back down. And it's not really matching to a lot of my don't want to let you in on how the sausage is made too much, but it's not. It doesn't make sense. Is the best way to describe it. So a lot of this line movement in terms of why it's moving to the Commanders doesn't make sense. So just betting nugget for a lot of people. A lot of people think that like how much money goes on one side moves lines. It doesn't. The books they don't really give a shit what the public does. There are certain key players who are at books who are considered respected sharps who move lines. And sharp action can be attractive if you know what you're doing. If you don't, you're gonna get taken advantage of. So a lot of the stuff on this line doesn't really match to what's happening in the background. I woke up this morning and I was almost certain we would be on the Bears at +6. You could have got it at +6.5 at some books. Then as the day went on, and I kept monitoring, and I kept then looking at the movement, and then trying to match it to what's happening in the background. It then put me back into monitor mode. So we are still in monitor mode, and I am going to hit you guys with the official play prior to kickoff via community post. It will be 3 units though. It won't be 5 like the Falcons play, just because of what's happening is super weird. It also has a little bit to do, I think, with the injury news. So like Debo's playing for the Commanders, and he was not, with the heel injury, he was not thought to go. But a lot of the line movement was off on the timing with Debo too. So something is weird. I'm gonna try and figure out what it is before kickoff happens, so I can take it into my evaluation. If I'm not able to figure out like anything weird, then we're probably just gonna go with the original play, which is the Bears, and hopefully we're still able to get 6, or maybe one of them goes 6.5. We'll see what happens. But I may be able to figure something out. So I'm gonna keep working on that. That's it. I don't have anything else. Falcons +4 for 5 units. Monitor on commies and Bears, on the comrades and the Bears. We will be at you tomorrow with our college football recap video. We will talk about Penn State and their head coaching search. We will talk about, I told you guys preseason, I thought there were 2 teams that could win the national championship, Texas and Ohio State. I hadn't come off that. Those are still the 2 teams that I think can win the national championship. I've officially added one. I will tell you who that team is tomorrow. And we will also talk a little bit about some of the playoff picture, because I'm looking at this thing and there's going to be a lot of teams at 9-3, and I'm really curious what ends up, given the official changes to the literature of how the committee will select the teams, bringing in strength of schedule. I'm very curious then, who at 9-3 do we think has a chance, and who at 9-3 doesn't have a chance? Like, for example, a 9-3 Oklahoma probably has a shot to get in this thing. Depending on how the rest of the season shakes out, a 9-3 Texas, I don't think gets in. But if they get in, a 9-3, an Oklahoma team in the playoff has 0 chance of winning the national championship. A Texas team in the playoff is one of the few teams that actually can win the national championship. It's very interesting how you do stuff like that. And what teams at 10-2 get left out for a potential 9-3 team with a top 5 or 10 strength of schedule? It's all very interesting. We'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow. That's it. And then we'll beat you Wednesday with our NFL recap video. We have a few plays that we've already made for this upcoming week. I want to get you guys those now. Louisville plus 14 for 2 units against Miami on Friday night. Georgia minus 6.5 for 5 units against Ole Miss on Saturday. And then Monday Night Football, a week from this Monday, the 3 a.m. kickoff game. Not really, 9 p.m., but 10 p.m. But I mean, come on, guys, Jesus. The Texans plus 4 for 5 units at Seattle. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Enjoy your Monday night. Enjoy Monday Night Football. Let's get after it. I'll be at you with that community post for commies and Bears.